Hi, this is Stuart Nachbar with Educated Quest. With me today is Cara Frank. She is the Associate Director for Admissions at the University of Kentucky. UK is one of the more affordable flagship state universities in our country. And Cara is responsible for reaching out to students in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. She is a native of Kentucky and an alum of the university. So I wanted to ask Cara to share a lot of information with people, especially those out the East Coast, who may not be as familiar with this school. Cara, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
Cara, what leads prospective students, wherever they come from, to choose UK over other public and private options?
Yeah, well, we are seeing a lot that students are wanting that kind of Southern state school experience and want all of the benefits of a large institution. So at UK, we have over 200 academic programs. We have over 500 clubs and organizations for students to join. We have phenomenal athletic programs. We have a lot of opportunity for education abroad, research, career services, and much more. But you get all of those big school opportunities on a campus and in a community that feels really small. UK is very friendly and it's filled with people who want to support you and cheer you on. We always hear from visitors that they noticed right away how friendly our campus was. You can also get a really good sense of the pride of UK. So the atmosphere is what really sets us apart.
For those who are not in the do not live in the South and come from either the Northeast, come from the West Coast, how would you describe aside from friendliness? What else would you say about a Southern State University experience that might be different than, say, kids in Pennsylvania looking at Penn State or kids in New Jersey looking at Rutgers?
hmm Well, definitely the weather is a little bit better in Kentucky. We tend to have pretty mild weather, so not a lot of crazy snows, not a lot of hurricanes. It's a pretty easy climate to live in. We are located in a city called Lexington, and a lot of what people assume about Kentucky is that you'd be going to college on a farm and you would be in a really rural environment. But actually, Lexington is a city of about 300,000. So we're surrounded by beautiful rolling horse farms, but we're a city inside of that. So we have malls, movie theaters, restaurants, we have several Targets. So you feel like you're going to college in an area that has lots of opportunities and you're part of a city where there's a lot going on, even though you're living on a college campus.
Is it an easy walk from campus into the city, or do you need to take buses or drive?
Downtown is about a mile from the north end of campus. So it is walkable, but students can take any of our city buses for free with their student ID. All students go downtown for our men's basketball games because that's where the arena is. But they also go out for our restaurants. They go downtown for a live music event on Thursday night. They go to the movie theater downtown, all the different parks. So it's really easy to get around in Lexington.
Can you talk a bit about the geographic diversity of the student body?
Sure. So our out of state population at Kentucky grows a little bit each year. Right now, about a third of our students are coming from outside of the state of Kentucky. So every single one of the 50 states is represented on our campus, even Alaska and Hawaii. So we really are drawing students from all over the country and over 100 different countries to our campus at Kentucky.
Do most of the out-of-state students come from neighboring states, or do you
They
see
do.
do you see a large a contingent from New Jersey every year?
Yeah, so our airport has 2-hour direct flights out of New Jersey, out of New York City, and out of Philadelphia. So because it's easier to visit and actually see the campus, we're really drawing a lot more students who were able to visit and really fell in love with our campus.
And do you do outreach in New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York as well?
Yes, I typically visit high schools and go to college fairs in each of those states. This year is obviously very different, but I am available as an electronic resource for virtual meetings and any help that students need making it through the process.
What are some of the signature academic programs, things that they'll be able to get at Kentucky that they might not get at another school, even including one in their own state?
Yeah, we are a big healthcare school. All on the same campus. We have programs for medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, PA, PT, nursing, pretty much everything in the healthcare suite. And we have 3 hospitals right on our campus, so students have access to lots of opportunities there. We also have really large colleges for engineering and business. But a lot of students come to Kentucky because they don't really know exactly what they want to do. We have everything on one campus. So some students start in fine arts and go over to education and they take some communication classes. So we have a lot of students who are interested in multiple things or want to explore around a little bit. So that's pretty popular.
Is there a formal exploratory program, or is it fairly informal working with an academic advisor?
Our different academic colleges offer their own exploratory programs. Students coming in will have to identify some interest and they can choose an exploratory program within that. So they can explore arts and sciences, they can explore any of our business programs, they can explore communication, and they get to know a little bit more about a general area. And then if they really like that, they can choose a specific major within that set.
What was your undergrad major when you were there?
I studied communication and business.
Was that your original major when you started?
I came in completely undecided to college. I had no idea. I really liked a lot of things.
Is the process of helping an undecided student very similar to what you experienced, or has it improved?
It's improved. When I came into college, we had a major that was just called undecided, but it didn't really give students a place to start. So if you're majoring sort of in nothing, then it gives you kind of some difficulty figuring out what classes you really should be exploring to figure out what you do like. So the way it's structured now, I would have had to choose an exploratory communication major, and then I would get to know more about the different options. And if I didn't like that, I could switch to something else, but I at least start out somewhere.
Now, you had a double major that was in two different schools,
Yes.
and is that still possible today?
It is. Most of our programs, it's possible to do a double major. We also offer lots of minors. So if students are in a heavily structured program where they have fewer electives, but they're interested in multiple areas, it's very easy to add on the minor programs.
So an engineering student, for example, or computer science might be able to take like some business courses and do a minor.
Yes, and we have lots of specialty programs. So when there are really common overlapping interests like engineering and business, we have select programs that students can do, honors level programs where they can explore both areas. Or we have a 5-year program that's a bachelor's degree in engineering and a 1-year MBA program. So there are ways to kind of pair those interests formally.
You touched on the Honors College a moment ago. Can you tell me more about the Honors College?
Yes, our program is called the Lewis Honors College, and students can apply for that program right when they're filling out their admission application for UK. Typically, our honors college wants to be about 10% of the size of each incoming class, and students take a set of courses through the honors college. It's a very flexible curriculum, so every student takes different classes that fulfill their requirements for the honors college. We also have more select pathway programs for students who have specific interests. So if there's a student who's really interested in international business, they can do the Global Scholars Pathway, which is an outlet of the Lewis Honors College.
Nice. Now, Kentucky's going test optional for this year.
We are.
And will test scores be excluded with the honors college too? Will people be able to apply to the honors college without submitting scores?
Yes, they are still making determinations about how they'll be evaluating applications because some students will have test scores and some will not. But because the university is test optional, all of our colleges and programs are making plans to accommodate that.
And has the honors college become a more popular option for new incoming students?
Well, our university is growing, so the Honors College is growing as well. Our most recent new residence hall on campus is the Honors College Residence Hall, and students are really wanting to be part of a community where they can take specialty classes, they can live in a residence hall with other honors students, and they can get access to a lot of extra resources. So it is very popular.
Cara, suppose someone commits, they deposit. What's the residence life experience going to be like for them the first year, whether they're in honors or a learning community, or whether they just are unsure about doing any of those things?
Sure. So, when a student is filling out their housing application, one of the decisions they have to make is if they are interested in any of our themed communities. So, the Lewis Honors College has a community for the honors students if they choose to live in that community. They can choose anyone they like. So, a lot of them will choose a program for their academic college. For example, we have an education residential college and an agriculture residential college and a healthcare. So students will live with other students who are taking similar courses and interested in a similar career. We also have programs that are just themed communities. So an example of one of those is our creative arts. You don't have to be majoring in art, music, theater, or design, but if you have an interest in that, you can live in a community with other creative students. Some students are not interested in any themed communities and they just want to live in a general residence hall, which is fine. We offer an amazing living experience for all students. We have built 14 brand new residence halls in the last 8 years. All of our housing is suite style. They have granite countertops. They have Tempur-Pedic mattresses. They have laundry machines that text them when their laundry is done. So we have a really comfortable space for students to live and learn.
Tempur-Pedic mattresses? Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I don't even have one at home.
They're pretty nice. And most of our residence halls offer full-size Tempur-Pedic mattresses rather than the twins you normally see on college campuses. So it's a little bit more comfortable of a living experience.
So they're not as Spartan as people who have been out of college a long time, like me, or I've been out of college for nearly 40 years, and it was cinder block walls and
Yeah.
mattresses very thin, and twins, and
Yes,
so it's a bit less Spartan. A-
that's correct.
And are the students responsible for cleaning the shared spaces, the bathroom, the shower, so on?
They are. So no one will go into their suite. So they and their suite mates or their roommates are responsible for the cleaning of the suites. But we do have people who take care of the rest of the building. So hallways, community spaces. A lot of the residence halls also have classrooms on the first floor. So students will take a class with other people who live in the residence hall and they just come downstairs for class.
Did the university have to de-densify the halls for this year or this semester?
Yes, we have a smaller set of rooms where there's a shared bedroom, and the decision was made this year to not allow any student to share a bedroom. So that did cut down on the amount of space on campus, but we were able to accommodate every student who wanted to live on campus.
Really? So in a suite style arrangement, everyone had their private space in their suite?
Yeah, everyone has a private bedroom this year. So they are sharing a bathroom with one other student, but they have their own shared bedroom. So they have a little bit more space. And then we have a couple quarantine halls for students who need to be moved out to isolation.
Now, are classes being conducted in a hybrid format, on remote, online, or in person, or all of the above?
All of the above. We have three different modalities. So we have in-person classes when the class is small and we have the classroom space to be able to spread everybody out. We also have hybrid classes that meet sometimes in person and sometimes online. And then we have fully online options as well.
And is the dining hall being used right now with distancing?
Yes.
Wow. So, and how has that changed in terms of serving people and keeping people apart when they
Mhm.
have to be apart? How is that? How does that work?
We have over 30 dining locations on campus, so there are a lot of different choices for students for where they eat and what they eat. In our dining halls that typically have several different food stations and you can get whatever you want, students are no longer allowed to serve themselves, so they can't grab the spoons and pour things out. They're being served and everything's being packaged for them to minimize the amount of handling and to minimize the amount of people crowded around a space.
And
There are
how,
lots of changes.
and classes just started recently, right?
Just a few weeks ago.
And has there been any, you've probably seen the news about other campuses either having to send people home or concerns about positive tests and things like that. How are things going in Lexington and on campus with that right now?
This year, we required all students to receive a test within 7 days of the first day they were going to be on campus. We also have testing every day available to students, faculty, and staff. From the first round of testing for the entire campus community, we had a 1% positivity rate. And we're being very careful and very strict about guidelines, protocols, behavior, and working as a community to keep everybody safe. So we haven't had the huge outbreaks that have been seen on a lot of college campuses. We are fortunate that our president runs the university and also UK Healthcare, and he's also the president of the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. So he's very involved and aware, and he's making really careful decisions to protect our community and our students especially. So
Is
we're
the,
grateful.
is the president a physician?
He's a dentist.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting because you hear read and hear how different universities are handling this.
Mhm.
Sounds like your community's handling this very well.
Yes, we are, and we're definitely hoping that we keep all that interest from all of our community members and continuing to make prudent decisions.
Is Greek life important in in your campus community?
Yes, about 20% of our campus is Greek.
And have they cooperate and have the organizations and their council cooperated with the different guidelines that the university has to set?
Yes, the Greek community does have a slightly higher positivity rate than the general campus community. So we are implementing some extra procedures and some training for students to make some more careful choices.
And if you had incoming students from states that have had high numbers, did you ask those students to quarantine?
We did not. So, because all students were tested within 7 days, the ones who received a positive result were moved to our isolation residence halls for 14 days, and their roommates were asked to quarantine for 14 days in the suite that they were originally in. But we didn't have different quarantine procedures for students based on the state they came from.
And the students who are quarantined, they're going to be able to keep up with their classes. Let's say this happens later in the semester when, exams are getting close and people need to keep up. The faculty made arrangements to help students keep up with the work.
Yes.
Okay. That's terrific because, like I said, to everybody, it seems like different schools are handling this differently, and the results are very different. And it sounds like you're getting that the University of Kentucky is getting some good results from its
Mhm.
efforts.
There was a lot of very careful planning, but definitely every university is different and is beholden to different groups who have opinions about what percentage of classes have to be in person and whether they can require testing procedures. So we're really fortunate to have had good results so far and to have made really wise decisions and planned out a full strategy based on what we knew at the time. But I definitely feel for the schools who are right now. I can't imagine.
Are there summer and winter sessions to help students keep up and make good progress towards their degree?
We don't have a formal winter, uh, not semester, but we don't typically have a winter session. Some students will take a winter course through education abroad or kind of an independent study through UK, but we don't have a formal winter session. We do have two different summer sessions, so students have access to a lot of classes over the summer.
Can you tell me a little bit about the alumni network, especially as you move further away from Kentucky?
Mhm. Our alumni association is in contact with all of our alumni clubs. They all have a section of the website to connect with the leadership of that alumni network. So new people can always get involved with their respective clubs. Typically, they're clustered in larger cities where we have bigger networks of alumni. And they will host game watch parties because alumni love UK athletics. They sometimes go to college fairs to talk to prospective students about their experiences at UK. They come back to campus to visit us a lot, so they're very active groups.
How easy, hard is it for students to get tickets to basketball, given its popularity?
Yeah, our basketball stadium has about 23,000 seats. So we can't offer tickets to every student for every game. So there's a lottery system that they enter, and it's an electronic lottery. So they're notified if they win tickets to a set of games.
And it's a set, not meaning it's not every game, it's just a group of games.
Yes, they'll typically group it for 5 games together. So if you get tickets, you get for all of those games.
Um, and if Kentucky were, let's say, to get Duke during the regular season, just to pick a team that's been in the Final Four, would
Mhm.
seniors get priority for that game?
Nope.
So it's just luck of
We
the
do
draw?
have we do have a student organization called Team Wildcat. It's kind of our pep club, I guess, and students can earn points through being part of that. And typically, if they help out with different things, they get tickets. Our big basketball kickoff every year is called Big Blue Madness, and tickets are free for that, but everybody wants them. So usually, if students help us roll posters for the seats at Rep Arena, they get a ticket to Big Blue Madness. So there are ways to kind of earn them. So our super fans make it to every game.
Is admission to the Pep Club competitive?
No.
So you join, you participate, and there's a point system.
Mm-hmm.
You earn points. It can't be more fair than that.
That's right.
In terms of the campus, is it fairly easy to do without a car? Just use a bike, get around?
It is. We have a very bike friendly campus, and Lexington is a very bike friendly city. So that's very popular. Students can take any city bus, any UK bus, and there's a specialty shuttle in Lexington called the Colt Trolley. So if students want to go out to our horse racing track on the weekend, they can take the Colt Trolley. If they want to go to the mall, they can take the bus. So they can really get around anywhere without a car.
And do most students do without a car, or is there more cars than there is parking?
Well, we have the football stadium, so there is a lot of parking. There just isn't a lot of parking right next to the building where you live.
Um, is there a parents association as well as an alumni association?
Yes, we have a parent and family association. So they do newsletters, they plan family weekend, they host events. So they have a lot of different resources.
And do they go to parts of the country that you've attracted students, or places you want to get more students? Like, would you get more parents to come to Philadelphia?
No, typically they don't really travel like that. They do have a parent advisory council of current parents to provide feedback to UK and to, I guess, recruit other families to be part of it. Um, but they don't do a lot of work with prospective students. They mostly serve our current students and our alumni.
To wrap this up, who would be every state university has its unique setting, culture, history. Who would be happiest at UK? Let's say compared to Ohio State in your neighboring state, or a southern or in a southern university, or Virginia Tech, because Virginia borders on Kentucky.
Yeah, I would say someone who really thrives from being part of a close knit community and someone who has big dreams and wants the resources to be able to make them happen.
Cara, thank you very much for your time and for sharing all these different things about the University of Kentucky. I wish you only success in this admission cycle.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.